Hello and welcome to this Project in a Box video session. In this session we're going to be having a look at the features of the new version 5 for Small Team, Enterprise and Live editions. We're going to focus here on 3 of the 10 areas that's in the new release: collaboration threads, search extensions and some of the new browser app extensions. So let's have a look. So straight into collaborations, you can do this in the Windows application and the browser. We'll have a look through the Windows application part of it first. You can pick up collaborations. They may be hooked to a button on your diagram, or you can pick them up in the project menu here, collaboration, and you'll see a window like this which covers all the collaboration threads that are active and available for this project. You can see something about them, how they might be grouped together, and you can order by all this sort of thing. If you're administrating, you can tick to select on and off and change the various settings and search the titles and types, etc. You can choose the one that you would like to contribute to, and you'll then see the information down the right hand side that's actually been added by the user, the posts to this collaboration thread. You'll see who's added them, topics they've put in, and when they were updated, etc. And so you can see all that there. If you want to add any new things to yourself, you just click add on the top of the list, and this is available to view only users, of course, but they'll have to do that through the browser, and you can then put in the text you want to add like that and save. That will appear on the end. If people have tagged it to receive email alerts, they'll then be receiving emails telling them that somebody's put that piece of text into that particular thread. And in fact, I've got one here that I sent earlier. This is one I received actually when Carl updated part of this thread with we see the comment that they put in, and then we get a link, so we can go straight back and see that. The link will take us to the browser interface, so we can do that from any device that we're on. And it will give us access to the collaborations thread area there, where we can then read and respond if we want to. Adding new threads is pretty straightforward. A slight variation on the same form. I give it a title, so we'll call this new thread, and a theme from one of the standard ones, or I can type in a new one, and then I can put in my first entry into what that's going to be, and it will then appear here. Other people can now come along and see that. They can tag themselves for alerts and start contributing. So it really is very straightforward. All this content is going to be saved as part of your project and is indexed for searching. So we'll have a little look at search before we go and look at collaborations in the browser interface. So if I come and do search, it's slightly changed a little bit over what was here before. We've got the same sort of entry level content search up here, but you'll see you've got 2 different areas for results. So if I come in and look for some company name, for example, within here, like that, I can see it's returned some results in the files themselves. So some versions of these files must contain that particular term, not all of them, but just certain versions, and this file as well. And then some of the threads also contain this term. So this is content searching of the content of the threads and the files in your project. So this is extended a little bit over what was there before with the threads included. You can also now use the advanced query syntax though. So what this allows you to do is to engage directly with the Windows search that's behind on the server and write your own program search instructions about what you want to bring back. So here, for example, I'm looking for any files which contain the word project and are PDFs. So I'm not interested in anything else except things that match that particular condition. So I couldn't have done that with a classic content search, because I would have just been able to search for the content, not the particular file type as well. So you can build these to be whatever you want to. We can see here it's returned those results, and you can then load and save those. So I can come to my archive of saved search patterns that I use regularly and pick those up, so I don't have to remember to write them each time. I can have them saved for when I want to use them again. So quite a powerful thing there to be able to go off and find anything you want within your project documentation. So let's go and have a look on the browser interface for the collaborations as well. So here's the browser interface. We'll come back and talk about the Planner Live and various other things with it later that might look slightly different. But the thing we want to have a look at now is the collaborations, and then we'll have a look at some of the other browser features. So collaborations form here, you can see, looks very, very similar to the one in the Windows application, designed to be as similar as we can make it. And you see already it's got my new thread content showing here, and anything else that we might have added to any of the other threads that we were working on last time would be showing as well. So that's what we added earlier, and this is where it will bring you in if you follow the link from the email straight to here, so you can just engage with those threads straight away if you want to. It's also possible to connect a thread to a file in the file management system, so you can have, for example, a discussion around the PID, which is what we've got going on here, and you've got a link to that file in the file management system so that you can go straight to it and see the file, read it, and then see what the discussion is all about. And in fact, when you're in the File Explorer, if we come over here back to the File Explorer and look for the PID, you'll see that when we come to that file, it's got a link to the collaboration thread. So when you're on the file, you can go to the collaboration thread. So it's nicely joined up for not just having standalone conversations, but conversations about the content of the sort of more formal document management system. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to talk about while we're in here, and I should say the search is here as well and works in exactly the same way as it did in the Windows applications. We've got advanced query search again, and we've got results which are in files and collaboration threads. So the other thing to talk about was the extended sort of browser features. There's quite a lot of them associated with Planner and obviously collaborations. We'll come back to the Planner stuff in another session. What I wanted to show you here was the new drag and drop. So I'm going to go to my particular file area that I'm interested in, and here I'm dealing with a load of images. I've got some work going on site, and my colleagues, suppliers, contractors, etc. are sending me a load of things. They're sending me, for example, a new site photo every day, and in fact when I run my report, it's set to pick up the site photo by ID, so it will pick up the latest version in the tree here. Now if I come and look at 1036, I can see I've got 3 versions of that currently. The last one was a week and a half ago, and if I want to add all these 4 files at once, rather than checking them out in turn, adding the new one in manually one at a time, I can instead come and select the document, do add multiple files to the document, like that. I can select my files I want to add and simply drag them on. And you'll see they're all quite small files, so they've gone through very quickly, but it gives me these progress bars at the bottom. So if I drag 100 things in, I can see when they're all complete. Obviously I need to wait on the page until all those are complete before I can go back. And now when I come back to the Explorer and we go back to our images again, we're going to see that we've got new version brought in today. It's worked out because it's the same file name. It's put it in as a new version. I haven't had to do that whole check out, throw the version away, put the new one in, check it back in thing. If these were new files, if somebody sent me a 5th new file in here, then it would appear as a first version of a new file. So it works out what's already there and up versions it, and if something isn't there already, it adds it as a new file. So it's really slick and easy for people providing tons of standardized repeated documentation to you.